This morning, Queensland's COVID turnaround, no new infections. Contact tracers discover the crucial missing link. Vaccine rollout stash, the war of words escalates between the federal government and the states. The new plan for vaccinations in hospitals. And giving thanks on Good Friday, thousands attend church services and the fish markets.
This is 7 News with Angela Cox.
Good morning. Queensland is enjoying an incredible COVID turnaround with no new cases of community transmission in the past 24 hours. But an historical infection has been identified. It's believed to be the missing link between the Brisbane clusters. Live to Marlena Wapp in Brisbane. Marlena, the snap lockdown seems to have worked.
Yes, good morning, Ange. So far, so good. Health authorities say the results have been excellent with no new locally acquired cases in the past 24 hours, despite more than 35,000 tests. It comes after the lockdown was lifted across Greater Brisbane at midday yesterday. They also believe they have identified a missing link. It's a historical case and it relates to one of two clusters involving the Princess Alexandra Hospital, and it's another nurse. They believe she became sick after treating someone who tested positive in hotel quarantine, but at the time last month she did not display any symptoms. The Premier has praised the efforts of contact tracers. Let's take a listen now.
When you don't know the links, when you know that there's still something out there, I'm just never sure what else could be going on, what other chains of transmission, what other friendship groups could there be, what other venues. So you will see this morning a whole range of other venues that the nurse has been at.
The Chief Health Officer there, who has also ordered the retesting of another contact of a positive case. Now, that contact had been in the PA hospital but had breached her quarantine measures yesterday. Police managed to track her down and she will be urgently retested for COVID. She had returned a negative result, though, a few days ago, Ange.
OK, Marlena Wapp, thanks so much. A security guard has been attacked in northern New South Wales after he told a man to wear a face mask to comply with COVID restrictions. Live to Miley Hogan in Lismore. Miley, the 22-year-old, has faced court this morning.
And good morning. It was only a very brief appearance, but he was refused bail and will stay behind bars until his case returns to court on Tuesday. He is accused of violently lashing out at that security guard after he was offered a free face mask when walking into the Lismore Central Shopping Centre. He turned violent, allegedly punching the security guard in the face several times. Members of the public tried to intervene and stop the attack, but the 22-year-old is accused of then turning on those people, attacking them as well. Eventually, police did arrive and pepper spray was used to try and restrain the man, but he also is accused of kicking a senior constable in the face and chest several times. He was taken back to Lismore Police Station, where he is accused of going off again, biting another officer several times. Thankfully, all the officers and the people that were injured during this ordeal are recovering well.
I think it was very brave of the public, and obviously they dealt with a pretty confronting situation, but without the assistance of the public, that male may have gotten away.
COVID restrictions are in place across 4 shires, Lismore, Tweed, Ballina and Byron, to try and stop any further spread of the virus across those shires. But positive signs today that the virus is becoming under control. No new cases in the Byron Bay area today. Ange?
That is good news. Thanks so much, Miley. Hospitals in New South Wales could soon become mass vaccination hubs as the blame game between the state and federal governments over who's at fault for the slow rollout turns personal. Live to political reporter Rob Scott. Rob, the war of words is expected to get worse today.
And that's expected any minute now, with the federal opposition due to hold a media conference very shortly. Now, the criticism turned personal earlier this week when federal frontbencher David Littleproud accused state governments of stockpiling vaccines, blaming them for the slow rollout. That infuriated premiers, in particular Queensland's Deputy Stephen Miles, who says his state is running very low on vaccine supplies, labelling Minister Littleproud this year's April Fool for suggesting the states weren't pulling their weight. He, of course, has fired back, saying, I won't be lectured to by a man who was sacked as health minister and a government which is derelict in their duty and incompetent. While the insults keep flying, some progress does appear to be being made. The federal government indicating it's prepared to make a deal with New South Wales to use its hospitals as mass vaccination hubs to speed up the rollout. Something else likely to quicken the pace, a third jab on the way.
We will hopefully get access to one additional vaccine from offshore later on this year. That's Novavax. So if you think about it, we're getting our Pfizer vaccines coming in from offshore. We're going to produce about 1 million doses a week onshore, and then there'll be another vaccine, we hope, in the middle of the year.
Despite the nasty back and forth, the federal government is confident that all Australians will have at least received their first jab by October. Ange.
OK, thank you, Rob. The Prime Minister has praised Australians for their great spirit and mateship during his annual Easter message. Scott Morrison spent the morning at church in Sydney to start the Easter long weekend. Earlier, he delivered a special message alongside wife Jenny.
Happy Easter, Australia. Easter is a very special time where people and families are coming together right across our country, and for many in a way they haven't been able to do over the past year.
And right across the country, thousands of worshippers have flocked to churches to mark one of the holiest days on the Christian calendar. Live to Paul Caddick at St Mary's Cathedral in Sydney. Paul, it's quite the contrast to last year when COVID restrictions forced services to go online.
Good morning, Angela. Yeah, that's right. Worshippers allowed back in person this Easter, although there were still some limits in place. Here at St Mary's Cathedral, they allowed up to 1,200 people inside at once, socially distanced. There was also, of course, digital scanning for people coming in. Following last year's experience, many churches have also again live streamed their services on Good Friday, marking the Stations of the Cross, with the Easter messages of sacrifice, renewal and new life finding extra resonance after a year of COVID.
It's wonderful that we can gather together on Good Friday. We're conscious that many of our fellow Catholics all around the world are unable to be together in numbers, but we give thanks to God that we are able here to gather.
Don't practice social distancing with God. Now is the time to turn back to Him.
The Easter story gives us cause for present hope.
With calls for the year ahead to be a year of recovery as Easter traditions make a welcome return. Angela.
OK, thank you, Paul. An Easter seafood bonanza is underway at the Sydney Fish Market. Thousands of people are rushing to stock up this Good Friday before weekend celebrations begin. Amber Laidler reports from the markets.
Well, customers started coming through the doors as they opened at 5 a.m, but 50,000 people are expected to shop here at the Sydney Fish Market across the long weekend. 400,000 kilos of seafood is set to be sold in the coming days. That includes 100,000 kilos of prawns and around 1 million oysters. There were concerns that recent supplies in New South Wales could impact seafood supplies, but thankfully there's still plenty on offer.
It's a time of tradition, so families have come in early, and you can see coffees and garlic prawns and fish and chips, and they come in, they get what they want, they know what they're here for. If it's just to buy seafood, you pick it up and then go. So the crowds are big, but they're moving.
Beat the rush, and it's always good seafood, fresh.
It's Good Friday, you got to be at the fish market. It's tradition. You come down, get some prawns, get some oysters. Perfect, mate.
Most of the major supermarkets, including Coles and Woolworths, are closed today, along with department stores and liquor shops. Seafood shops, patisseries, fruit and veg shops, chemists and nurseries are allowed to open today. Normal trading will resume for most retailers tomorrow. Extended trading is in place here at the Sydney Fish Market, so shoppers have until 5 p.m. to pick up their fresh supplies.
Thank you, Amber. Australia's east coast is set to be hit by intense rain this long weekend as the clean-up from recent floods continues. A coastal trough is forming off the Sunshine State, which could stretch into northern New South Wales over the coming days. The worst is expected to hit on Sunday.
We will see rain really start to increase, and depending on how those systems move, we could see a couple 100 millimetres each day.
It's a different story in South Australia, with the Country Fire Service preparing for a total fire ban in the state's lower southeast tomorrow, while temperatures could soar into the mid-30s in Victoria. Animal lovers and show bag hunters are flooding through the gates of the Sydney Royal Easter Show, which is back after a year of hiatus. Live to Tom Hartley at the show. Tom, tickets have sold out today. How are crowds there now?
I mean, it doesn't take much imagination. Just have a look around. It feels like every man and his sheep is here at the moment. This place is really packed out already. There is so much to see, so much to do, so many happy, smiling faces. This is James Kemp. He put the Farmyard Nursery together. James, just how many shows do we have here? Shows, sheep, animals. How many animals do we have here?
We've got over 550 here altogether. Yeah.
So what are we looking at here? We've got a little goat
we've got a little
here.
goat. He's only 6 weeks old. This is Chocolate and very cute and still on the milk and loves his time here at the show.
Sheep, goats, horses, ducklings, list goes on.
Yep, guinea pigs. There's some two miniature Highland cattle here as well. Alpacas, kittens, puppies, you name it, it's here.
James, just seeing so many happy faces. I mean, after last year, devastatingly not having the show on. What's it like to see everyone coming back now?
Yeah, look, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a real signal to Australia, certainly New South Wales and the rest of the nation, that events are back, we're back, you know, we've beaten this. I just think it's fantastic. People are outside, they're loving the show. Get yourself down here.
Absolutely. So there's still 10 days to go.
Yes.
Still a chance for people to get tickets, but they have to get tickets online.
Yeah, so they're pretty limited, limited. They need to make sure, don't muck around, book them early.
Sold out today, still a chance to get in.
You're in your element. Thanks, Tom. Coming up on 7 News, major mishap. Millions of precious COVID vaccines in the bin. The error set to cause delays. And an April Fool's Day prank in Belgium, but it's no joke for police. Thousands break COVID lockdown. That's next.
In the stark and rugged lands of Australia's north, a sudden rash of random murders, police realised that they're hunting a serial killer, the Kimberley Killer.
The extraordinary manhunt across the outback.
Desperate police chase.
He's very much determined to kill one of us.
And the heroic investigation that stopped a madman.
Will be nothing short of explosive.
New Crime Investigation Australia, Most Infamous, Sunday on 7.
A foundation that's good for your skin. Really? True Match Foundation by L'Oréal Paris. With 80% moisturising cream and hyaluronic acid for improved skin quality in 2 weeks. True Match Foundation by L'Oréal Paris. In 40 shades. We're worth it.
Great! Gee, that's a good mark!
Got a mark and he's got it!
The siren's going to sound.
The scene is set. You couldn't get it any better than this.
It's all on her. The goal sneak from punch bowl.
Kick is on the way.
It's a big kick. It's another kick.
Sometimes the kick, it's on its way. It's there. Sometimes the kick, the miracle on grass. Sometimes you get anything's possible after this.
More Australian pet owners and their dogs love NexGard Spectra. The most complete parasite protection in one tasty tube. NexGard.
Whatever you bet on, take it to the next level.
That's a win.
Take it to the next level.
Whatever your claim, big or small, we're on to it. Yui, you insured.
Staff at a Sydney hotel have been threatened during an armed robbery this morning. Police say a man armed with a firearm entered the licensed venue at Wallachia around 4:30, threatening staff and stealing cash. The two workers weren't injured and are now helping police. A prominent New South Wales mayor who recently faced calls to resign is in a coma, fighting for life. A family spokesman for Dubbo Mayor Ben Shields has told News Corp the 40-year-old is in intensive care following a medical episode. On Wednesday, half a dozen fellow councillors signed a letter accusing him of bullying and intolerant behaviour and called for his immediate resignation. Production of the single-shot Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine has hit a delay. Up to 15 million doses have been thrown out because they didn't meet quality control standards. US correspondent David Woywood reports.
Good morning. Yes, this a major blunder at a critical point in America's vaccine rollout. 15 million doses of the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine discarded after a contamination scare. This plant in Baltimore, which manufactures two different types of COVID-19 vaccine, mixing up ingredients, raising questions about the speed of the inoculation program as some states start recording virus surges.
Johnson & Johnson has made clear that they expect to deliver 24 million doses in April and that they expect to meet their commitment of 100 million doses by the end of May.
Johnson & Johnson catching the mistake as it's revealed the plant at the centre of the bungle has recorded a string of federal quality control violations in the past. The Food and Drug Administration still yet to fully certify Emergent's Baltimore facility.
One production run, one batch of product was determined to be inconsistent with our quality specification.
This as Pfizer confirms its vaccine provides up to 91% protection against illness 6 months after the second dose. The Stage 3 clinical trial also revealing strong protection against the dangerous South African variant. And importantly, none of those that received the Pfizer vaccine developed severe illness.
Riot police have used tear gas and water cannon to disperse crowds in Brussels after thousands showed up to a fake festival as part of an April Fool's Day joke. Officers were sent scrambling when nearly 20,000 people said they'd attend during Belgium's strict COVID lockdown. Some people who refused to leave threw projectiles at police, who then fired back with pepper spray and water cannon. We may never know the exact cause of Tiger Woods' car crash. Los Angeles detectives have established the cause, but details won't be made public unless the golf legend gives permission. The 45-year-old suffered severe leg injuries after he struck a median strip and rolled his SUV. Pope Francis has begun Easter services at the Vatican, all scaled down because of the coronavirus pandemic. Just 200 people were allowed to attend the Holy Thursday Mass at St Peter's Basilica. The 84-year-old blessed oil that will be used in church sacraments and led cardinals, bishops and priests in the renewal of their vows. Next in 7 News Sport with Matt Shervington, including Manly's horror season hits a new low point. Also, the Lions leave it until after the siren in a thriller against the Magpies.
Kate Winslet in the Aussie Award winner that captivated the world. The Dressmaker, tonight on 7.
Lash Sensational Mascara from Maybelline, New York. Lashes go soft, supple, and fully fanned. Fanning brush volumizes every kind of lash. Lash Sensational Mascara, only from Maybelline, New York.
I'm Sammy, I'm 36 years old and I'm a project coordinator. I was stuck on the couch, my hobbies were watching TV. I decided if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this big. As soon as I picked up my first weapon ever, I knew that this was a sport for me. Climb a tower and be a princess, get shot at with arrows, wizards throwing spell packets. It's an amazing feeling, it's euphoric.
There are so many ways we can live better. Search Medibank Live Better to find yours.
Barocca, energy to help keep you on.
On now at Domain. Save up to 55% off Australian-made mattresses and ensembles. That's up to 55% off big brands. Sealy, Sleepmaker, King Coil, Nature's Rest and Dunlop Pillow. Or get a new Tempur Queen mattress from $1,988. Plus bonus Thermocool quilt and mattress protector pack with selected Tempur models. Get 60 months interest-free and receive a bonus gift card up to $500. Up to 55% off Australian-made mattresses and ensembles and more. Update now and experience the Domain difference.
Come on, darling, up you hop. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Locked out, Keith? What if that new vacuum goes rogue? Unlike some insurers, Amy offers optional emergency home assist from tradies like locksmiths. Does your insurer offer this? Amy does.
Nature's Way Beauty Collagen Tablets enhance collagen formation deep under the skin where beauty creams can't reach. Nature's Way Beauty Collagen gives your skin back its youthful bounce, glow and radiance.
Good morning. In a thrilling comeback win, the Brisbane Lions beat Collingwood by a point with a goal after the siren. The Magpies were in control for most of the match, leading by 14 early in the final quarter. The Lions clawed their way back to trail by 5 when Zach Bailey took a mark 40 metres out with just seconds remaining on the clock.
Points down. Every boy dreams of this. Directly in front. He's got it. He's got it. The dream comes true.
It was vindication for Bailey, who was last week denied a free kick to win the match against the Cats. It's Brisbane's first win of the year. The Sea Eagles have slumped to their worst start to the season since 1999 following a 40-point thrashing from the Panthers. Penrith were off to a quick start, crossing the line 3 times in the first 17 minutes. Manly were able to break the drought just before half-time, but it was short-lived. Even a Jake Trbojevic spray to rally the troops seemed to fall on deaf ears.
These experiences are certainly going to be a part of our recovery.
Penrith kept the pressure on right through to the end to finish 46-6. The loss is Manly's worst ever at Brookvale Oval. 20-year-old Adelaide United keeper Joe Gauci pulled off a once-in-a-lifetime feat, saving 2 Central Coast Mariners penalties in Gosford last night. But he couldn't keep the ladder leaders at bay the whole game.
It was going to take a strike of quality to beat Joe Gauci.
The Mariners scored twice within 3 minutes to win 2-1, ending the Reds' 6-game winning streak. Miami's starting to feel a little bit like home for Ash Barty. The world number 1 was in fine form against Elina Svitolina in the semi-final of the Miami Open. Despite dealing with an abdominal issue, Barty needed less than 90 minutes to win in straight sets.
It wasn't easy today, not by any means. I thought I played a really good match today. I felt like I wanted to try and come out here and be aggressive, and I was able to execute it.
The world number 1 will face either Bianca Andreescu or Maria Sakkari in the final. The Perth Wildcats are still the team to beat in the NBL. Last year's champions were too strong for the Sydney Kings in last night's grand final replay. Led by 22 points from Bryce Cotton, the Wildcats picked up their 8th straight win in the 95 to 89 point win.
Just shakes Vasiljevic. Oh, Bryce Cotton.
Ryan Brockhoff played his best game for South East Melbourne Phoenix since returning from the NBA in their 32-point thrashing of the Illawarra Hawks. For the first time, the Touring Car Australia Series will roar around Mount Panorama. Alongside the Easter Sunday endurance race, drivers will hit the track this weekend for the 3rd round of the TCR Australia Series.
The sun's out and it looks like it's going to stick around for the whole weekend, so the track's starting to warm up. The car felt really good.
All the action from Bathurst is live on 7, mate. And Ange, if you don't have any plans this Easter long weekend, why don't you head up to Bathurst and watch it live, or you can watch it right here on 7.
Yeah, I'll watch it on 7, thanks.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe.
Me too.
Thanks, Matt. Next in 7's Morning News, the national weather forecast.
The pet population boom.
4.3 million extra cats and dogs in the last 12 months. Now, the massive sign-ups for pet insurance. Is it worth it?
There are ways of getting more value out of your insurance.
What are the best deals, the best cover, and the costly traps? 7 News, 6 o'clock.
Ned's Same Game Multi is available on every NRL game this week. Plus, on Thursday and Friday games, you can pump up your NRL Same Game Multi with Ned's $2 lines. Take it to the Ned's level.
Energy. Internet. Mobile. Now all in one place. AGL. Progress for life.
For a crackling good time, dish up a delicious pork roast and have an even happier Easter. Get some pork on your fork.
Life happens, and you can't always see it coming. That's why Bupa's here, because double bouncing will always be a thing. Because it's not just waves that break. Because small print is always on the menu. And because every chance deserves to be celebrated. We'll be there when life happens to give you the cover you need and the service you expect. Bupa, because life happens. Join today.
The Pollies can't help themselves. My super doesn't work out for me. I'll be working forever.
Well, we've worked all our lives for this place. We'd hate to have to sell it to fund our retirement.
That's for sure.
Authorised by B. Dean for Industry Super Australia, Melbourne.
As we go through life, we stress our bodies at the cellular level through overeating, alcohol consumption, and the ageing process itself. These stresses damage our cells, depleting a vital coenzyme required to maintain cellular energy and repair called NAD. True Niagen has been proven to increase NAD, which supports cellular energy, repair, and regeneration. True Niagen, health from the inside. Available at trueniagen.com.au.
Ned's Same Race Multi is available every day on all 3 racing codes. Pump up your odds by selecting 2 to 4 runners to finish inside the top 4. Use Ned's Same Race Multi on the Tancred Stakes this Saturday. Take it to the Ned's level.
The Eurovision Song Contest is going ahead in May with fans as part of a trial by the Dutch government. 3,000 can attend the musical extravaganza in Rotterdam after the event was cancelled last year. Fans will need to show a negative COVID test before being allowed in. Montaigne has been named as Australia's Eurovision entrant in 2021. Taking a look at the weather around the country, troughs are triggering thundery showers in far north Queensland and the top end. A trough is causing patchy rain in WA's southwest and directing heat to the state's south. Onshore winds on the northern New South Wales and Queensland coasts are bringing showers. Around the capitals, a possible shower in Brisbane, heading for a top of 26 degrees. Sunshine increasing in Sydney, also 26. Canberra, mostly sunny, 27 degrees. Sunny in Melbourne, a top of 29. Hobart, mostly sunny, 24 degrees. Sunny in Adelaide, 33. Mostly sunny in Perth, 32 degrees. Darwin, cloudy and a top of 32 degrees. And that is 7 News to now. We'll keep you up to date throughout the day. Our next major bulletin is at 4 p.m. I'm Angela Cox. Thanks so much for your company. Have a great day.